Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this is your Red Pill News for Tuesday, March 12th. Well, we have some major happenings in the world of the rich and famous. Before we get into the story, a quick word from my sponsor. With the many threats we face today, like the caravan amassing in Central America, widespread reports of human trafficking across the country, and the seemingly uncontrollable rise of socialism, the future of America is not promised, and neither is your safety. One of the best things you can invest in for your home protection is a Patriot flashlight. So why not purchase one of the best flashlights on the market? The Patriot flashlight. You'll never waste money on batteries again. The Survivor Tactical Flashlight is solar powered. It lights up the darkest of nights with the powerful 500 lumen flashlight that can be seen from miles away. It features a life-saving emergency strobe light setting along with 4 more unique lighting modes. And you can charge your phone anywhere, anytime with the Survivor's USB port. Other features include a compass, rope and wire cutter, solar-powered recharging, high and low beam LED modes, a glass-breaking hammer, all while remaining lightweight and durable. Satisfied users have reported this flashlight to be an all-in-one lifesaver and wouldn't go anywhere without it. It's lightweight but very durable, compact but great for handling all emergencies. Patriot Flashlight is the perfect gift for you and your family. There's a limited supply available, and this is the very last chance to get yours at a discount before they sell out. Take advantage now and give you and your family the gift of night protection. Visit patriotflashlight.com and use code REDPILL20 for 20% off. From Fox News, Felicity Huffman arrested, Lori Loughlin charged in alleged college admissions scam. What you have here is an organized group of people, rich and powerful people in Hollywood, who got together with their friends in the college admissions world to fake or correct admissions tests for their children to get them into the colleges of their choice. Also, bribing of college officials to lie and say that their kids were part of athletic admissions. People for the college saying that they were on teams when in fact they were not. Well, can you guys imagine this happening in a world 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? It would have been unthinkable. Hollywood actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are among the charged, the bold-faced names in a veritable who's who of rich and powerful, charged in an alleged college admissions bribery scam. Federal authorities have also charged college coaches and others in a sweeping admissions bribery case, the AP reported Tuesday. At least 13 people, including Loughlin's husband, famed fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, were arrested Tuesday morning and expected to make their first court appearance later in the day. A rep for Fuller House star Loughlin, who reportedly has been filming a movie in Vancouver, told Fox News that she had no information on the case at this time. A rep for Huffman, who U.S. Attorney Andrew Lelling said in a press conference had been arrested by federal agents, did not return multiple requests for comment. A rep for Giannulli did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment either. The racketeering conspiracy charges were unsealed Tuesday, and they include charges against coaches at schools such as Wake Forest University, Georgetown, and the University of Southern California. Investigators said the coaches accepted bribes in exchange for admitting students as athletes regardless of their ability. ABC News reported that parents would pay a predetermined amount to an as-yet unidentified man in California who would then give the funds to coaches, SAT, or ACT administrators. The alleged fund amounts ranged from several $1,000s to $6 million, and the documents allege that Loughlin and her husband Giannulli agreed to pay bribes totaling $500,000 in exchange for having their 2 daughters designated as recruits to the USC crew team, despite the fact that they did not participate in crew, thereby facilitating their admission to USC. Officials claim to have obtained emails from Loughlin supporting their case. There they are. Laughlin's daughter, the YouTube sensation Olivia Jade, attends USC. It is not immediately clear if Laughlin's other daughter, Isabella, attends the university. Authorities claim that Huffman and her husband, William H. Macy, made a purported charitable donation of $15,000 to participate in the college entrance exam cheating scheme on behalf of their eldest daughter. Huffman made later arrangements to pursue the scheme a second time for her younger daughter before deciding not to do so. Huffman and Macy's daughter reportedly had twice the normal amount of time to take the SAT, and her proctor was paid to correct her answers after she completed the test. Prosecutors explained in a press conference Tuesday that many parents involved in the scheme obtained letters from their children's therapists explaining that they needed more time for the standardized test as a way for their children to take the exams privately, with paid proctors who would correct the students' errors. They specified that Huffman allegedly participated in the SAT scheme. Macy, who was not charged in the scam, showed his support for his wife on Tuesday at a Los Angeles courthouse. Asked by Fox News if he wanted to comment on his wife's case, the 68-year-old Shameless star simply replied, no. In January, Macy told Parade his and Huffman's eldest daughter, Sophia Grace, was in the college application process and that he hoped she'd take a year off of school before starting. He didn't specify where she applied. Prosecutors said in addition to two famous actresses, the parents charged were a catalog of wealth and privilege, including CEOs, real estate and securities investors, a famous fashion designer and co-chairman of a global law firm. Their names were not yet revealed. Parents chose to corrupt and illegally manipulate the system for their benefit using deception and fraud, prosecutors said. No students have been charged in the case. Prosecutors claimed that in most cases the children involved didn't know of the scam, though some were informed. Wow. Just goes to show how unleveled the playing field is. Somebody like me have to take the SAT, you get it? You get it done or you don't get it done, and you turn it in, and your score is your score, and then you can choose where you want to go, or maybe you have to apply still to many places based on your score and hope that you get in. But in the case of the rich and famous, in the area of education and probably employment, all bets are off. You can do whatever you want as long as you've got the money. Now, they actually did release the name of the guy who did this entire scam, and it was in a press conference on a particular local Fox News station. All right, so here is the actual press conference of the largest college admissions scam, which included many Hollywood actresses, coaches, proctors, test takers. Let's take a listen, because we're going to learn who the individual, or at least one of the individuals who was charged was, the primary individual behind the scheme.
Overall, today we have charged 3 people who organized these scams, 2 SAT or ACT exam administrators, 1 exam proctor, 1 college administrator, 9 coaches at elite schools, and 33 parents who paid enormous sums to guarantee their children's admission to certain schools through the use of bribes and fake academic and athletic credentials. A central defendant in the scheme, William Singer, will plead guilty today to charges of racketeering conspiracy, money laundering conspiracy, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and obstruction of justice. Singer allegedly ran a college counseling service and something called the Key Worldwide Foundation. Between roughly 2011 and 2018, wealthy parents paid Singer about $25 million in total to guarantee their children's admission to elite schools, including Yale, Georgetown, Stanford, the University of Southern California, the University of Texas, UCLA, and Wake Forest. Beyond enriching himself, Singer used that money to bribe college officials, Division I coaches, college exam administrators, all to secure admission for the children of his clients, not on their merits, but through fraud. Singer's foundation purported to be a charitable organization, but was actually a front Singer used to launder the money that parents paid him, of which he would then take a portion and dole it out as bribes to coaches and others. More specifically, with respect to the SAT and ACT scheme, numerous parents paid Singer between $15,000 and $75,000 to have someone either take the exam for their child or to correct their child's answers afterward, all to achieve a sufficiently high pre-agreed score on those tests. Singer accomplished this by paying defendant Mark Riddell, also charged today, to take or correct the exams, and by bribing 2 exam administrators, defendants Nikki Williams and Igor Dvorsky, to allow this to happen on their watch. Williams student and Dvorsky about $10,000 per student. To facilitate the scam, Singer counseled parents to take their children to a therapist and get a letter saying that because of purported learning disabilities or other issues, the child needed additional time to complete the ACT or the SAT.
Now jumping over to coverage from NBC, because they do name Mr. Simpson. We just, rehashes the fact that it included administrators, SAT and ACT test proctors, coaches, and parents. And then, of course, Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, and Lori Loughlin's husband, Massimo, who had a huge clothing line when I was in middle school. And I think now they sell it at Target, but I just remember it fondly from my youth. This was a $25 million bribery case. And the gentleman who organized it all was William Rick Singer. Pardon me, not Simpson. He was 58. He would pay people to alter the test scores. He would have others take the online courses. He would bribe coaches and administrators, and then pay for them to have their children recruited as athletes into the college of their choice. Now, can you imagine if a normal person would get caught doing something like this? I really hope that they're throwing the book at these people, because we have an entire generation of privileged, self-assured individuals who thought that they could get away with whatever they wanted. And now they're starting to learn what it's like to be one of the little people. Now, according to U.S. Attorney Andrew Lelling, Singer received $25 million total from wealthy parents to ensure their children got into the top colleges of their choice. This was between 2011 and January of 2019. Now, Singer was operating out of Newport Beach, California, and the company that he ran, or the foundation, the Key Worldwide Foundation, which operated as a nonprofit claiming to benefit underprivileged kids. Now, I have a nonprofit education background. One of the reasons I got out of it is because it was so patently obvious to me once I actually started working in the industry, how big of a scam it was and how open these people are about it. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who is involved with a nonprofit is a scammer, but I'm saying it's fairly prevalent, fairly widespread. So let's go ahead and take a look at Key Worldwide Foundation. All right, so their mission statement here. The Key Foundation's mission is to provide guidance, encouragement, and opportunity to disadvantaged students around the world. Ha! Since its foundation in 2014, the Key Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit, has touched the lives of hundreds of students that would never have been exposed to what higher education could do for them. Many of these students have only known life on the streets, really, surrounded by the gang violence of the inner city. The Key Foundation, directly or partnered with other organizations, have met these students where they live to encourage them and open doors for enriching opportunities beyond their wildest imagination. Some of their partners include Ladylike, Generation Wow, Oakland Soldiers, Atlanta Express, Houston Hoops, USTA Bizworld, and Smile on You, Cambodia. So they provide 30 disadvantaged students with a full scholarship to the Keys Premium College Coaching Program. Here are some of those affiliated in foundations and organizations. I'm sure that these are going to be very interesting for some deep dives. Looks like their YouTube has already been taken down. Oh, sorry. We partner with your son or daughter to identify their strengths, unlock their potential, choose the right college, position themselves for admission, and outline a course of study and extracurricular experiences to lead to a life of success. Oh, now I wonder if they have information here detailing the actual people that they've helped. It looks to me like this is just a front, because if this was a real organization, they would have success stories. This is a pretty simple WordPress theme to put together. I could do something like this in a weekend, easy. Well, gotta love it. Gotta love it when you see that crime does not pay. Let's go look into some more information about the offender. And we go back to Fox News. Who is William Rick Singer, the college admissions cheating scandal's alleged ringleader? William Rick Singer, founder of for-profit college prep business Edge College and Career Network, also known as The Key, is allegedly the mastermind behind one of the largest college admission scams ever to hit the U.S. and went to great lengths, which included pricey fees, to ensure his clients' demands were met. Singer, 58, has been called the ringleader behind the scheme, purportedly collecting roughly $25 million from dozens of individuals, including actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, over the course of nearly a decade to bribe school coaches and administrators into pretending their children were athletic recruits to ensure their admission into top-tier colleges, prosecutors say. The Newport Beach, California businessman agreed to plead guilty in Boston federal court Tuesday to charges including racketeering, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. As a part of his guilty plea, Singer said he would pay at least $3.4 million to the feds. Now, that's what really gets me. He defrauded $25 million, and he's only going to pay back $3.4 million. Now, I wonder what kind of jail sentence he's looking at. On his website, The Key, Singer describes himself as a dedicated father and coach who understands the pressure put on families surrounding the college acceptance process, maybe. What about all the pressure that's put on the people who don't pay, who aren't cheating to get in, and who are thereby robbed of a spot because they're not able to get in because some actress's kid got in instead? The Key calls itself the foundation's largest private life coaching and college counseling company. As founder of The Key, I have spent the past 25 years helping students discover their life passion and guiding them along with their families through the complex college admissions maze. Using the Key method, our coaches help unlock the full potential of your son or daughter and set them on a course to excel in life, Singer stated online, providing biographies for 7 other coaches. Andrew Lelling, attorney for the District of Massachusetts, U.S. Attorney, reportedly claims Singer's clients paid him anywhere between $200,000 and $6.5 million for his unique services. Parents of prospective students conspired with a college entrance consultant to beat the system and ensure their students were admitted or had a better chance to be admitted to certain colleges or universities, including Yale, Stanford, Texas, UCLA, USC, Wake Forest, and others. According to the charging documents, Singer facilitated cheating on the SAT and ACT exams for his clients by instructing them to seek extended time for their children on college entrance exams, which included having the children purport to have learning disabilities in order to obtain the required medical documentation. However, there was just one of many ways Singer ensured his students got accepted to elite schools. Singer would accommodate what parents wanted to do, Lelling said, and it appears that the schools are not involved. We'll see about that. Prosecutors say the consultant represented to parents that the scheme had worked successfully more than 800 times. Singer also served as CEO of the Key Worldwide Foundation, a nonprofit he claimed was a charity. Bribery payments were disguised as donations to KWF in sums of up to $75,000 per SAT or ACT exam, the Justice Department said, noting that many students didn't realize their parents had staged anything. This is a case where the parents flaunted their wealth, sparing no expense to cheat the system so they could set their children up for success with the best money can buy. In total, 50 people, including more than 30 parents and 9 coaches, were charged Tuesday in the scheme. Can't wait to see who is on that list. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't find a couple more besides these two. Well, it seems that Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are the sacrificial lambs, so to speak. They have also been charged with mail fraud. Yeah, they were among the 40 people. The number keeps changing, but we'll see. We will end up finding out in the days to come who else has been charged. That's very interesting that William H. Macy wasn't charged, but Lori Loughlin and her husband both were. And look at this. Huffman's daughter took the SATs and scored a 1420, an improvement of 400 points over her previous score, the documents claim. Wow. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Thanks. Yeah, mostly my parents really wanted me to go because both of them didn't go to college, and then...
They did all right, though.
Yeah, I think they did fine.
They did just fine.
Yeah. Hypocrites. No, but I'm so happy they made me go. That sounds so terrible. They didn't make me. Like, my sister goes to the same school, and we're pretty much inseparable, so it was nice, like, following in her footsteps a little bit, but I do like it. It's cool to have...
You're right. Like, doing things in college gives you a whole new perspective.
Totally.
And it showcases a life that a lot of people out there are living right now.
I know. It's, like, the coolest thing getting DMs from girls. Like, I'm applying to college right now. Like, what did you do? All this stuff. It's fun, so...
She gets messages from girls who are applying, and little do they know that she cheated to get in herself. This is a travesty, and I'm so happy to learn that justice is being served. Now, out of those famous people, those CEOs and those actors and actresses and coaches and such, could these have been sealed indictments? I'd be very interested to see if we've got reductions in the sealed indictment counts, or if they are showing now as being unsealed. If anybody wants to check into that and let me know, that'd be great. I'll put it in a show. Now, next, I wanted to go over the recent posts. Of course, we remember yesterday my friend Nate Kane had posted that he had some strange things happening. He asked for everyone to pray for him and for the president and for the people in the government who need to do the right thing. And our favorite Anon sent him a message asking him to stay in the light and to reach out for help. I don't know if that happened or not, but hopefully we're going to hear back from Nate and we'll see him. Now, luckily, Nate has been active on Twitter, so we know that he's okay. He posted 8 hours ago, "Thank you for the outpouring of prayer and encouraging words. It has helped us feel much more at ease knowing so many have our backs in prayer. Where we go one, we go all. The battle our country is in is a spiritual one. God is our deliverer. Hashtag pray for justice. Hashtag pray for revival. Hashtag the Great Awakening." Love you, Nate. And then just 31 minutes ago, he said, my SIL sister-in-law, Reed Gracie West, shared this song with me by @Cody Carnes, and I was very moved by it. Remembering what matters in the grand scheme of things is so important. Take a moment today and to meditate on Jesus and the simple truth of his love and sacrifice for us. Wise words, Nate. Thanks for letting everybody know you're okay. Now, our friend Methods was cued today. Congratulations, my friend. And it was the post that I put in my video last night. How cool is that? We're going to go ahead and take another listen just because it is so powerful.
Well, Sarah, we'll start with you because you've been investigating this from day one, is that they don't have anything. And now that we had last Friday the beginning of the release of all the depositions, we also see a lot of criminal activity. Especially as it relates to the dossier, is at the heart and soul of all of this. And everybody was warned, never verified. Steele hated Trump. Hillary paid for it. The DNC paid for it. The FBI paid for it. The Russian oligarchs paid for it. And Steele doesn't stand by it, so you can't verify it.
Yeah, so think about this, Sean. You just laid it out perfectly. There is absolutely no evidence that we've seen yet. We know Senator Burr's already come out publicly and said if he were to write the report today, he would actually have to write the report stating that there was absolutely no evidence of collusion or conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. But what we've seen over the last 2 years with all the investigations being conducted by Congress, the investigations that I've been on, John Solomon, you've been on, everything that we've reported shows a direct line between Russia and the Hillary Clinton campaign. This is what's so incredible. So if anything needs to be investigated, and not only that, we've not only seen that, we also saw extensive abuse and malfeasance in the FBI, what we're seeing with the FISA documentation. And here you have Adam Schiff, who is so desperate that something come out that he's moving forward with his own investigations with absolutely no criminal evidence of anything. So if anything is going to come out of this, I think right now what we're seeing is that there needs to be a full-fledged investigation by the Department of Justice into what is alleged and believed to be criminal activity.
We learned today,
on Hillary
and I want to get
Clinton's
some
side.
analysis from Pam. We learned today that those investigations have been ongoing, and they're happening, and they're real.
That's right.
And there's other things that are about to happen that I know you know.
There's other things that are about to happen that I know you know about. Got to love it. The investigations have been ongoing, folks. This is it. We are witnessing the end game. Now, after I had recorded the next segment, it turns out that it was the next post that our favorite Anon just put out here. It's a series of tweets from Representative Jim Jordan. Now, our favorite Anon says, change you can believe in, forward, greater together, betting on America, we don't quit, winning the future, we can't wait, an America economy built to last. Now, let's go ahead and look at the actual tweets from Jim Jordan in the second. Now, speaking of Adam Schiff, we had Jim Jordan put out some very interesting tweets today, a series of tweets. First of all, why did Adam Schiff try to block Congress from learning that the Clinton campaign paid for the dossier? Then why did Adam Schiff falsely claim in his memo that Bruce Ohr hadn't communicated his relationship with Chris Steele to the FBI prior to the 2016 election? Then why did Adam Schiff fail to disclose that he met with Glenn Simpson, whose dossier Oppo research was funded by the Clinton campaign in Aspen? And finally, why did Adam Schiff say that his talks with Michael Cohen were limited to inviting him and allaying any concerns about threats to his family, but not mention that 14 hours his staff spent prepping Cohen before the hearing? Well, it seems pretty obvious to me. Adam Schiff has a dog in this fight. And the closer you get to the DNC, the HRC, the dossier, Steele, Simpson, it leads right back to Schiff. Schiff has been playing a part in this from the beginning. He had a vested interest in making sure that President Trump was taken down. All right, so the next post on the line of the Clinton criminal web, we have a file here from the Justice Department, a review of various actions by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Department of Justice in advance of the 2016 election. We all know this document well. We've gone over it multiple times on this channel. Now, our favorite Anon says, the Clinton connection. Where are they now? Lisa Barsumian equals Rod Rosenstein wife. Lisa Barsumian equals representative of Bill Clinton. She represented him in a legal case. Now, there is a document here from Scribd talking about the conflict of interest that Lisa Barsumian presented as the lawyer of William Jefferson Clinton. So, Rod Rosenstein had a conflict of interest because he was married to a lawyer for WJC. Now, Mueller, connection to Uranium One and Russia. I had hoped that because he seemed clearly to be a person who should never have accepted the job of special counsel that he was recusable. He was not qualified to be the special counsel on anything involving Russia, and certainly not the Trump campaign in Russia. Yet Rod Rosenstein, as the deputy AG who had been involved in the Russia illegal attempts to gain control of U.S. uranium, and they knew that Russia was committing crimes to try to get our uranium, and Mueller was the head of the FBI, and he was the lead law enforcement person overseeing the operation, there was an informant within the system that was providing information to the Justice Department to Rosenstein and Mueller. Yet they put the kibosh on the investigation and the crimes that were being committed to get U.S. uranium. If they had not, then the sale of U.S. uranium that would end up in the hands of Russia would never have been allowed to go through. So this is just talking about the fact that Robert Mueller was also conflicted. And our favorite Anon ends by saying the Clinton connection, pay-for-play spiderweb, because that's exactly what it is. Now, here is the FBI chain of command for the mid-year investigation. You've got all of the familiar players, everyone involved that has either been removed or was directly part of trying to frame the president. Now, the next post, this is an article actually from the Gateway Pundit. I saw this earlier today, and it's a bit of fear-mongering. What the Gateway Pundit is saying is that Attorney General Barr gave Mueller permission to indict Trump's 3 adult children and Jared Kushner. This is a report from The Spectator. This is from Friday. Claims that dirty cop Robert Mueller met with Attorney General Bob Barr, and the two agreed that President Trump's children should be indicted. I don't think this is true. The report goes on to say that Special Counsel Robert Mueller and his 13 angry Democrats also want President Trump to be indicted, but that Barr pushed back on this. Author and attorney Sidney Powell spoke about this during her interview on the Mark Levin Show on Fox News. Sidney Powell is an expert of the Department of Justice corruption and has followed the career of Democrat hatchet man Andrew Weissman, who has destroyed thousands of lives during his career as federal prosecutor, only to see his cases overturned years later by Superior Court filings. Sidney Powell wrote License to Lie, exposing corruption in the Department of Justice after seeing a core group of federal prosecutors break all the rules, make up crimes, hide evidence, and send innocent people to prison in the Enron case. Sidney warned that the report, which will likely be authored by Andrew Weissman, will destroy Trump. That is the goal, and that is why Democrats are looking forward to its release. Now, again, keep in mind, this is secondhand information at best. The story said members of President Trump's family would be charged, but also noted that it is Department of Justice policy not to indict a sitting president. However, there was no frenzy at the DOJ on Friday, no throng of reporters to make the tourists heading up on Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House stop and look. So what happened? Several sources tell Coburn that the special counsel has indeed completed his report. It is said to recommend indicting 3 of President Trump's children, Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, as well as his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The Attorney General, Bill Barr, is said to have silently assented to this. It's also claimed that Mueller wants President Trump himself to be indicted. Barr is said to oppose this. The 2 men met on Friday, but apparently could not agree, and this was the reason for the delay in any announcement from the DOJ. At least, this is what sources say. So, who are these sources? Joseph Heller mocked Washington's and journalism's culture of sources in his novel, Good as Gold. I believe I got that information about you from a reliable unnamed source. I've been doing a lot of work here as an unnamed source, Gold answered with nervousness and haste, so it may have come from me. No truth to it at all. None of Coburn's sources was in the room, as they say in Washington, for the alleged discussions between Mueller and Barr and their 2 staffs. And none of the sources was briefed by the people in the room, but they did talk to the people, briefed by the people in the room, and twice removed from the original conversations. They all give the same account. It is that older Trump children and Jared will be indicted for financial crimes, while Mueller wants to charge Trump with obstruction of justice. The charges, Coburn is now told, will not be about Russian collusion. This is different from the story yesterday, which was that Mueller would make the case for collusion. It is different from what the former Clowns in America director John Brennan said on Lawrence O'Donnell's show on NBC this week. He thought that the children would be indicted, and like Coburn, that it would happen on Friday. Well, none of that happened. And again, this seems to be not just second-hand information, but third- and fourth-hand information. So that's the reason I wasn't going to talk about this story. But our favorite Anon thought that it was important to highlight. And reminds us, reread drop. Mueller, sealed indictments installed in D.C. prior to Rod Rosenstein loss of power. Sealed indictments, D.C. blockade last resort installed post-Sessions departure and Whitaker assumption. Sealed indictment count, D.C. post-Sessions departure. Sealed indictment count, D.C. pre-Whitaker assumption. Power of Barr. Can a sealed indictment be pulled post-filing? Did POTUS just install a rogue AG who allows for the indictment of his children based on false pretenses? Barr Senate vote, 54-45. Do unicorns exist? No, they don't exist. And it's funny because this is a title of an email that was sent from Obama to John Podesta in regards to climate change, something like that. But the whole point of this exercise here is, guys, that no, Barr is not going to allow Donald Trump's children to be prosecuted for crimes they did not commit based on false information. President Trump is way smarter than that. President Trump is not going to install someone who is going to destroy him and his family. President Trump is going to install someone who is going to uphold the rule of law. Now, this next post is a Twitter status from Representative Doug Collins. Today, the link dougcollins.house.gov/page will be placed in the record so the American people can read the transcripts of Lisa Page's interview before the Judiciary Committee. Let's take a listen to Doug here.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Last week on the floor of this chamber, I released the transcript of the interview of Bruce Orr from our investigation into apparent wrongdoing at the FBI and DOJ. At that time, I said there would make additional transcripts from the committee investigation public, and I'm here today to keep that promise. As I stated then, our interview transcripts were pertinent to a congressional investigation, but the 115th Congress ended, the investigation was closed, and copies were shared with certain members of Congress. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I request that the link dougcollins.congress.gov/page be placed in the record so the American people can review the transcript of Lisa Page. The American people deserve to know what transpired at the highest echelons of the FBI during the tumultuous time for the Bureau. Out of an abundance of caution, the transcript has a limited number of narrowly tailored redactions related only to confidential sources and methods, non-public information about ongoing investigations, and non-material personal information. I will continue to work to release as many transcripts as possible. The American people deserves transparency, and with that...
Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate your service, Representative Collins. Now, lastly, I believe that this post is extremely important given the current climate of what's going on in our community. Our favorite Anon says, decide for yourself. Be free from outside opinion. Decide for yourself. Be objective in your conclusions. Decide for yourself. Be true in your own beliefs. Decide for yourself. Be open to following the facts. Decide for yourself. Be strong in defending your beliefs. Decide for yourself. Be resistant to blindly accepting factless statements. Decide for yourself. Be free. Those who attack you, those who mock you, those who cull you, those who control you, those who label you, do they represent you, or do they represent themselves in some form? Mental enslavement. The Great Awakening, freedom of thought, was designed and created not only as a back channel to the public, away from the long-standing mind control of the corrupt and heavily biased media, to endure future events through transparency and regeneration of individual thought, breaking the chains of groupthink, but more importantly, aid in the construction of a vehicle, a ship, that provides the scattered, free thinkers with a starter new social networking platform which allows for freedom of thought, expression, and patriotism or national pride, the feeling of love, devotion, and sense of attachment to a homeland and alliance with other citizens who share the same sentiment. When non-dogmatic information becomes free and transparent, it becomes a threat to those who attempt to control the narrative and or the stable. When you are awake, you stand on the outside of the stable, groupthink collective, and have free thought. Free thought is a philosophical viewpoint which holds that positions regarding truth should be informed on the basis of logic, reason, and empiricism, rather than authority, tradition, revelation, or dogma. When you are awake, you are able to clearly see. The choice is yours and yours alone. Trust and put faith in yourself. You are not alone, and you are not in the minority. Difficult truths will soon see the light of day. Where we go one, we go all. Now, there are just as many people on either side of the aisle who want to control what you think. To everyone who comes and watches my channel, know this. I will never tell you what to believe. I will never tell you who to follow. I will never tell you what to do. I know that I am blessed with the responsibility to have an audience, for you people to come here and listen to what I have to say, what my thoughts are. And they are mine and mine alone. Okay? I encourage open and honest debate with everyone, and I encourage a free exploration of the facts of every situation. We got into this predicament because we were mind controlled. All right? Maybe some of us to greater degrees than others. But we were controlled by the mind control apparatus, the MK Ultra apparatus of the national mainstream media, and more. We checked each other. When people stepped out of line, people jumped on them and told them what to do, how to think, how to behave. We don't have to live that way anymore. The whole thing that we've been doing for these last 2 years, the Great Awakening, this movement that we are involved in, is quite literally the most incredible and gratifying thing that I have ever been involved with in my entire life. I want to thank everyone who comes here on a daily basis to listen to what I have to say, and I appreciate you more than you could know. And I cannot thank God enough for blessing me with this responsibility. I love each and every one of you. I am so grateful to be here to witness this Great Awakening with all of you. And I just want you to know that you have the power to think for yourself and to act on your own beliefs. Please, please, never forget that. Now, just rounding out the last of the posts before I have to cut this video and take off for my appointment. We have that beautiful meme that our president posted showing the original version. Now that Russia collusion is a proven lie, when do the trials for treason begin? And our favorite Anon asks, promises made? Promises soon to be kept? Has POTUS made a statement assertion that didn't end up being proven correct? Change we can believe in. When they go low, we go high. Let freedom ring. Now, this next post, 3041. The unsealing of the first several indictments will bring about unity and change. Change that we can believe in. Returning power to the people. Returning the rule of law to our land. We stand together. We stand together as patriots. And then finally, a post from Q+. We have many YouTubes. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before.
I love this video. Gives me the chills every time I watch it. So, it is the same video posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for everything that you have done. You have given us our country back. And if it wasn't for you, I don't think it would have happened. I had given up hope. I did not think this day would be possible. And I am so pleasantly surprised. I knew it was happening. I knew it was coming. On the day that you were elected, I knew that this was going to happen. But before that point, I wasn't so certain. Thank you once again for joining me. As always, I am Red Pill 78, the corruption detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.